Hollywood is no stranger to celebrities wanting to be cast as high-profile characters. Michael Jackson as Spider-Man, Rihanna as Storm, O.J. Simpson as the Terminator. These are castings that were in discussion but were quickly brought to a halt because we know better than to cast celebrities with no acting experience in big roles. But it seems Hollywood has lost the plot because we are seeing an uptick in celebrity castings, and also requirements for actors who have a social media following in order to get proper funding. This is quite polarizing for most people because there is a reason that these celebrities are getting cast in big roles, and that's because of us. We appreciate the other art or influence this individual provides, but that doesn't mean we want to see them in our movies where we go to see memorable and worthwhile performances. Is Hollywood really trying to replace the educated and talented actor with your favorite TikTok star? I mean, it's obvious that Hollywood has always turned out musicians to actors. Will Smith, Lady Gaga, Justin Timberlake. But for the most part, these musicians took the craft serious, and some even carved out a sizable pie in the box office. And you can't really point to these cases as the reason studios prefer you to have a following, because these guys have flopped a lot more than they have succeeded. In order for that switch to benefit you on the marketing side, you have to have a good personality and a fan base that likes your personality more or just as much as your music. For every big success like Will Smith, who took up acting early in his career, there's a handful of artists who tried the switch and never could hack it. Mariah Carey, Madonna, Beyonce, all pop icons who sold millions of records but just could not figure out how to do the same with the box office. But with the odds against them, that doesn't stop them from trying, and studios are certainly not afraid to cast them. Even if their performances are bad and not worth the price of admission, it's almost like this is the NBA draft for them at points. You take this college star because you believe they have potential, and the potential is marketing power. But when they actually get on the court to go ball, you realize they can't play this game. They have no fundamentals, no work ethic, no passion. They got here for the check, and the fans can see that. That's why potential won't get anyone in the door at a Wizards home game. You have to put out a product that's entertaining and not just worry about the marketing. Because in a perfect world, the marketing would be how great the product is. Directors like Quentin Tarantino have stated before that he feels a Marvelization effect in current day Hollywood. The characters that actors portray are the stars and not the actors themselves. We go to see Captain America, we go to see Batman, we don't go to see Chris Evans or Robert Pattinson. And people argue that he is wrong. People like Simu Liu, who plays Shang-Chi. He thinks Marvel gives actors like him a chance to lead a big budget film and create wealth and opportunity for many people. And I can see both sides, but it does seem like Tarantino was a little bit more right in his opinion, because all these actors I have mentioned have done their industry bolstering big budget movie and did pretty well overall. But when they went on to do some more original ideas with similar projects, the return wasn't as great. And that's not on them at all, because these movies are fantastic. It's just for some reason there has been a disconnect between the audience and the theater. And that's why you'll see the rise of these influencer actors, because they're trying to meet the audience where they are. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, if you're political. They want to attract as many common people as they can to their movie. It makes the new actors adapt to the new standards in the industry. Actors like Maya Hawke have voiced her concerns about these practices. There were times she wanted to delete her Instagram that has 9 million followers, but producers and directors persuaded her not to, because if she did, funding for some of her films could fall through, or they would have to find more popular people to cast around her because they have a follower mandate. These things hinder up and coming actors who are just starting and maybe don't have a big following on social media. They usually build their following through their acting work, and people seem to latch on to their personality if they have positioned their roles in a great way. An actor like Ayo Edebiri comes to mind, who had a crazy 2023 and a healthy 2024. She started 2023 with about 120k Instagram followers, but by the end she was at 1 million, and she sits at 1.6 million today. She is a rising star in Hollywood thanks to her roles, which is rare to see today, but when you do see it, it's satisfying. This path used to be the most walked by actors, but now it's becoming the most rare path to go through. Established actors who have built their career off this path have now bucked hard at the new emerging social media landscape. Actors like Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver are movie stars who are prohibitively against social media. They have been asked many times by big studios like Disney or Universal or you name it to join any form of social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, but they won't budge. Even recently, Scarlett told InStyle, "The work that I put out there is all based in truth." That's the key ingredient. So if I was a person who really enjoys social media, then I could totally get on the bandwagon, but I'm not, and I think that the film will do fine. She's basically saying the proof is in the pudding. She believes in the art she made, and that's good enough for the marketing to her. She doesn't want to be someone like her ex-husband, who has basically turned into a big ad for his next movie. Ryan Reynolds and people like him tend to get lost in the sauce of marketing and become a mascot for their products and films. And for some reason that starts to make the audience look at you as more of a billboard and not as an actor that can transform into a character and give a stellar performance. It's not their fault, it's not the audience's fault, it's just something that falls at the wayside when you start to prioritize marketing over the product that you're marketing. Sometimes I wonder, is this celebrity casting or social media focused casting just a phase in the industry? You know, like 3D movies in the early 2010s or the current multiverse fad. Is this something that can evolve to a point where the film is intact from these standards, where all actors can grow like Ayo Edebiri naturally and from their work as an actor? Or is this something that will fade away like the 3D movies, something they can see as a cherry on top that their cast has a cumulative following of millions? What does it take for Hollywood to stop these bizarre practices? Because if it all comes down to box office numbers, original IP movies with no actors at the front of their marketing with social media has been underwhelming to say the least. Mickey 17, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, The Northman, all good films, but they performed below expectations at the box office considering the star power attached. It makes the studio double think when casting, but in contrast of the social media inept actor, you could cast an actor who is too much in the spotlight and messes up the film's marketing, like Ezra Miller, who starred in 2 films for Warner Brothers, The Flash and The Secrets of Dumbledore. Both films underperformed and effectively rebooted both franchises, and might have just shelved Flash for a decade or so. Or most recently this year with the live action Snow White movie, the lead actress Rachel Zegler alienated a lot of people, not with her own strong political opinions, but her thoughts on the original film. These live action remakes were money printers for Disney, but this film was so hard for them to market because the lead actress was a little too hungry for the spotlight. Look, to me, the bigger issue is the large budgets that these films carry. It makes everyone fixate on every aspect of the film because you have invested a lot of money into this. So you want things to be efficient like a modern day offense. Everyone on the court better be able to shoot or you're on the bench. In the movie industry, everyone in the cast better be able to market or we'll find someone who will. They're maximizing their dollar, but why not just slow down on the 9-figure movie budgets and create more down-to-earth, low-budget, 7, maybe 8-figure movies? Focus on the product and try making back the $50 million you've invested in a movie with actors that care about the film. It is getting a lot harder for studios to get a great return on the box office recently, but these low-budget movies like Novocaine, The Monkey, One of Them Days are making their money back plus more on top. They aren't making a $700 million profit, but they're making money. And if you made more movies like that and spread your dollar, you could be making more money than ever. But that's just my thoughts on the subject. What do you think? Do you find celebrity castings annoying or do you like it? Tell everyone in the comments below. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.